I've been thinking about something. Is everything actually getting worse, or are we just getting older? Because food doesn't taste the same, video games don't hit the same, movies don't feel like events anymore. Going outside costs approximately $2,500. I'm tired every second of the day. Nobody answers the phone. And Christmas shows up every 6 weeks now. What is happening? Am I becoming somebody's uncle? Because when I was younger, it felt like life was bigger. Summer felt like it lasted a year. Christmas took forever to get here. A new video game could occupy your entire life for 6 months. I buy the game, I play it twice, and somehow I end up back on YouTube. So today I really want to figure this out. Why does everything feel worse as we get older? And I'm not just talking about nostalgia, because everybody says this. Music used to be better, fast food used to be better, movies were better, people were more social, dating was easier, everything was cheaper. Kids actually went outside, and eventually you gotta ask, was everything actually better? Because I'm really trying not to become that guy. Back in the day, me and my homies, we used to, I don't wanna be that guy. But at the same time, some of this stuff really does feel different. So let's start with probably the scariest one, time. When you're a kid, 1 year feels like forever. Think about summer vacation. Summer used to feel like a complete era. You'd have storylines, character development, enemies, redemption arcs. You'd wake up at 9 in the morning, go outside, come back, eat, go back outside, play PlayStation, watch TV, and somehow there is still 4 hours left in your day. Now I wake up, answer 2 emails, edit something, and it's Thursday. Like, what is happening? And I think part of it is that when we're younger, everything is new. The first day of school, the first sleepover, first concert, first relationship, first time driving, first time doing pretty much anything. Your brain has all these new experiences to grab onto something. But as you get older, routine starts taking over. Work, home, gym, sleep, repeat. And when every day starts looking similar, weeks start blending together, maybe time doesn't actually move faster as we get older. Maybe our lives just become easier to compress. It's kind of terrifying. And then there's food. Remember when fast food was like an actual event? Like somebody would say, yo, come on, let's go to McDonald's. And that was news. The experience just changes. Because when you're a kid, you're not thinking about price. You're not thinking about calories. You're not thinking about delivering fees, service fees, convenience fees, tax, the fee for the fee. You just know a Happy Meal, that was economics. Now you order lunch, and by the time it gets to your house, you feel like you financed it. Adulthood ruins things because adulthood gives you information. You start noticing everything. You notice the price. You notice the portion gets smaller. You notice the service wasn't as good. You notice how much it costs you to park. When you're a kid, you just eat the nuggets. And video games is another one. I have more games now than I ever had growing up. And somehow I play less. When I was younger, if I had 3 games, I was set. Those 3 games were my life. I knew every map, every cheat code, every character, every little secret, every stupid glitch, because that was what I had. Now, I can scroll through an entire digital library, hundreds of games, and be like, there's nothing to play, which is insane. I think we've got so many choices. Now that we don't even fully settle into anything. Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, Stream, YouTube, TikTok, Netflix, Twitch, movies, literally everything. We have everything at the fingertips of our touch, which I think destroys the whole fun and want of it. If all these things weren't so easy to be accessible, I think we would appreciate it a little bit more. But the fact that we have all of these things at a very touch of a button, it ruins the whole experience. Everything is right there. And the second something gets slightly boring, our brains are like, next. We didn't necessarily have better entertainment growing up. We just had a fewer ways to escape boredom. And honestly, I think boredom might have secretly been helping us enjoy things. Remember when movies would come out and it felt big? Like everybody knew, everybody was talking about it. You'd see the trailers for months. You'd actually plan to go. You'd be waiting for the weekend. Now somebody says, have you seen the new movie? And I'm like, what new movie? And they're like, bro, there's 14 new movies yesterday. Where? The ones on Netflix, the ones on Max, the ones on Hulu, the ones on Peacock, ones on a service I didn't even know I was paying for. We have more access than ever. But sometimes I wonder if all that access makes things feel less special. Because if you can watch anything at any time from anywhere, nothing really feels urgent. Convenience made entertainment easier to access, but maybe it also made it harder to appreciate. And then there's going outside. Why does leaving the house cost money now? You can literally step outside and somehow you already are down $35. Gas, parking, food, coffee, a toll. You want to see a movie? Cool. You want to get something to eat? Cool. Now you leave the house with $100 and somehow you come home needing financial counseling. And this is not part of the nostalgia. Some stuff genuinely is more expensive, like food, housing, cars, insurance, entertainment, basically existing. So when somebody says you want to go out, my first question isn't even where anymore. It's how much. Because just grabbing food can turn into $75, which happens pretty quickly. At a certain age, staying home stops feeling boring and starts feeling like a financially smart plan, the financially responsible thing to do. But here's another thing I've noticed. Nobody hangs out anymore. When you're a kid, you don't schedule friendship. You just exist near each other. Somebody goes, you want to come outside? And that's it. The plan is literally there. No calendar invite, no group chat, no 3-week discussion. No, it's just, does next Thursday at 6:15 work for anybody? Now, as an adult, you want to see somebody and they're like, how's October? It's August. And technically, communication is easier than ever. We can FaceTime anybody, text anybody, send videos all day, memes, send voice notes, but sometimes we're communicating constantly without actually spending time together. We might be more connected than ever, and somehow it's harder to reach each other. Which brings me to phone calls. Why does nobody want to answer the phone anymore? If somebody unexpectedly calls me, my brain doesn't go, oh, they want to talk. My brain goes, why are you calling me? Who died? Because phone calls used to be completely normal. Now they feel like an emergency. And I think the part of this is texting gives us control. We can respond when we want, think about what we want to say, ignore it for 20 minutes, come back later, ignore it for 20 minutes and come back later. Phone calls demand your attention right now. And we've gotten so used to controlling communication that spontaneous communication almost feels invasive. Technology gave us more ways to communicate and somehow made us want to communicate less. And social media definitely feels different. Remember when social media was just stupid? You'd post a blurry picture, random thoughts, terrible selfies. Nobody had a strategy. Nobody cared about branding. Nobody was thinking, not how does this fit in my content ecosystem? You just posted whatever. Now everybody is a media company. Your friend goes on vacation for 4 days and suddenly there's a rollout day 1, travel vlog, photo dump, get ready with me, restaurant review, 3 things I learned in Bali. Bro, you were gone for 4 days. And I say that as somebody who creates content. I'm part of the problem. I'm criticizing people for filming everything while filming myself, criticizing people for filming everything. But social media really did change. It used to document life. Now sometimes life feels like something we create so we can document it. At some point, we stopped asking, am I enjoying this? And started asking, did I get the shot? Are people gonna like this? Does this look fire? How many likes is this gonna get? Is this gonna go viral? And I definitely catch myself doing this too. You'll be somewhere beautiful. Instead of just being there, you're trying to get the angle, the lighting, the video, to get that extra like, to get that extra person to see how life is so amazing for you. And then later you look at the footage and realize you barely experienced the moment. That's weird. And then there's holidays. This one hits differently. Christmas used to feel magical. Birthdays felt huge. Halloween felt like an event. You'd be waiting all year. Now holidays just show up. You're like, didn't we just do Christmas? And I think part of this is really simple. When you're a kid, other people create the magic for you. You wake up and everything is ready. The food is there, the decorations are there, the gifts, the plans are already made. Then you grow up and realize Santa has a budget. Somebody was buying all that stuff. Somebody was decorating, somebody was cooking, someone was planning, somebody was stressing. The magic didn't just appear. You just become part of the production crew. And honestly, there's something kind of beautiful about that. Because eventually you stop being the person waiting for the magic and become the one of the people responsible for creating it. So maybe growing up isn't losing the magic. Maybe it's realizing somebody was working really hard to make it feel magical. And there's something kind of beautiful about that, because eventually you stop being the person waiting for the magic and you become the one responsible for it. So maybe growing up isn't losing the magic. Maybe it's realizing somebody was working really hard to make it feel magical. And after thinking about all this, I don't think the answer is everything sucks now. Some things definitely got worse. Some things got more expensive. Technology absolutely changed us. The way we communicate changed, environment changed, our responsibilities changed. But I think something changed inside of us too. When you're younger, you're experiencing life. When you're older, you're managing life. Schedules, money, responsibilities, goals, experiences, expectations, work, relationships, health, family. And when you're constantly managing everything, it's hard to get lost in something. Maybe that's why childhood felt so vivid. We weren't constantly trying to optimize it. We weren't thinking about it. We weren't thinking about it productively. We weren't asking, is this worth my time? We weren't wondering if we should be doing something else. We were just there. And maybe that's the real difference. Maybe everything didn't get worse. Maybe we just got harder to impress. And I'm not sure that's entirely a good thing, because think about it. Every new game has to compete with your favorite childhood game. Every holiday has to compete with your childhood Christmas. Every summer has to compete with a summer where you had almost no responsibilities. Every new experience is competing against a memory that your brain has had years to romanticize. That's an impossible competition. And that's why nostalgia is so weird. Nostalgia isn't necessarily proof that the past was better. Sometimes it's just proof that the past mattered to you. And I think that's what I was missing. Maybe the goal isn't trying to recreate childhood, because you can't. And honestly, you probably shouldn't. Maybe the goal is creating new things the future you is gonna miss. New memories, new friendships, trips, experiences, traditions, because 10 years from now, there's a really good chance you're gonna look back at the life you're living right now and say, man, things felt different back then. And that's crazy, because right now we're living in what will eventually become the good old days. So maybe before everything becomes a memory, we should actually enjoy some of it. But I wanna know what you guys think. What is something that genuinely felt better when we were younger? Food, video games, movies, friendships, holidays, relationships? Or do you think they were just nostalgic and everything was just chaotic? Let me know in the comments, and also give me something else you want me to talk about next, because I think I want to keep doing these kind of videos, just talking about random stuff we all think about and really breaking it down. If you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. BJ Wu, peace.